It's okay. I don't do it often.
All right.
I keep on playing it for it, but it never happens.
All right. So yeah, it looks like we're live, and yep, you guys probably noticed 2 streams on this channel. So we did one with Tank in the morning, and now we're doing one with Dan, who actually runs the Molly Beans channel and was kind enough to let me use it.
Well, you were unfairly struck down, so I figured I might as well do my part.
Thanks, Dan.
And YouTube is being retarded of mine, so I can't stream on mine since they won't allow me to verify it.
Well, that's unfortunate, because I can definitely verify that you're real.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm real, too.
Yeah, we're real boys. We're not puppets.
Nope.
The Blue Fairy has made us real.
Oh, definitely.
All right, so yeah, I've got the Chromebook acting as a backup. It's hosting the stream, and I can actually look at the chat while I do something on my end.
Cool. You just do that little thing. So, anyway, guys, thanks for having me on here. You don't normally have time to do these things. I had a very brief opportunity tonight, so I wanted to take advantage of it.
Yeah, well, thanks for coming on anyway, dude.
Excellent. So, I see some video game footage there. Is that someone's screen capture?
Yeah, it's me.
Nice.
Warhammer 40K Space Marine.
I have actually played this very briefly, but I'm always more of an RTS kind of guy, so I preferred that genre.
Yeah, I am good. And I'm dead.
Deads. D-E-D-Z. Deads.
Oh, no.
I found this on normal. But yeah, speaking of RTSs, I did pick up Dawn of War, which I want to play at some point.
Oh, I love that game. Absolutely. Played the shit out of it.
Too bad Tank isn't here because he loves that game too.
Really? Tank loves Warhammer?
Yeah. Have you looked at his timeline lately?
Have you read his books? Have you looked at his art? Whatever.
Yeah, it's pretty. I didn't know he liked Warhammer.
No, I mean it's a perfectly beautiful fandom to be enthusiastic about. So I'm really glad that he likes it.
Yeah. Yeah. I always blindside people with this when I tell people that Warhammer 40K, it's like the alt-right's tabletop game of choice, and it's not hard to see why. It's a game that combines fascist imagery with Crusader imagery. It's like, of course they're gonna like this.
It's Deus Vaulted all over the place.
Deus Vaulted, not just Deus Vaulted. It's also like Deutschland über alles all over the place too. Like one of the hosts of the Daily Show, Mike Enoch, he's actually been quoted saying that 40K actually makes him uncomfortable because he finds it too fascist.
Wow.
Well, that's sort of what makes it interesting.
The guy who hosts a podcast called The Daily Show. And he thinks this is too fascist.
Well, you know.
Different strokes, different folks. I happen to love the setting.
Yeah.
So anyway, guys, how is everyone tonight? I mean, it's been a long day for me. I have like about 20 minutes or so I can hang out. So I just wanted to see how everyone was doing.
I'd have to say pretty well, aside from a little bit of writing block.
Oh, writer's block. Oh, yeah. You know, it usually works for that. I don't know. I wish I did.
Yeah, same here. If you ever find out, let me know.
Oh, yeah. If I ever find out, I'm sure I'll be a millionaire. I'll just package it in a pill and distribute it, and everyone will be happy. Yeah, that happens to me all the time. A lot of times the dialogue that I write for Molly Beans is on the fly while I'm sitting there with the art finished. I'm like, what do I want them to say? I mean, I have a, I have a, I have a.
Reminds me of like I think I remember watching like a Daredevil.
You there?
Yeah, I'm still just in. Okay, yeah, my game just froze. But yeah, I remember watching a Daredevil documentary where Stan Lee was talking about like back when he was
Brett, you drop off.
Looks that way.
Hmm.
Well then.
Well then, anyway, yeah. So like I was saying, a lot of the times I have a general idea of what I want the characters to say, and I know what the situation is going to be, but I don't have it explicitly written out. So I'm sitting there at like 11:30, like, what do I want them to say? And I usually shag it out, put down whatever comes to my mind, and then I was like, that is the best writing I've ever seen. I'm like, oh god. But more often than not, that's what happens. Like the last one where Chuck's like, I've always wanted this, and he puts his hand on her cheek, and it's like totally improvised. I wrote that
Really?
I wrote that as I went along. Yeah. So I definitely yeah, that's how I deal with writer's block. I just I totally Ed Wood that motherfucker.
Of course, and it works.
Yeah, if it works, yeah. That's another thing. I usually just I don't really redraw anything. You know, I just I go with the first thing that I complete because I honestly have like a 2-hour window to make each comic if I'm lucky. So I just get it done and move on to the next. You know, got to keep going.
So basically, you're going.
What's up?
Brett?
Sorry, it just looks like my game kind of froze on me there.
That's cool. You're interesting enough without a game, Brett.
Well, yeah, it sounds like you're.
Yeah, but I was having fun doing it. Yeah, but I was having fun.
Sounds like first draft like Gail Simone, but except you have a reason for it.
yeah, I have a very brief window to complete it. So it's like Ed Wood said, you know, it's midnight and I have 47 more scenes to shoot. Please don't get weird on me. So yeah, that's basically it. So if I want to keep doing it, I got to go with usually the first draft.
Yeah,
but you know, it's fun.
Interesting guy.
Ed Wood is fascinating. I'm in love with his entire body of work. Have you actually if you go on Amazon and look up Prime Video, like all of his films are available there from like Glenn and Glenda on up. And Glenn and Glenda is a fascinating piece of work. I have no idea how else to explain it. I mean, you ever watched it from start to finish?
No, but it sounds interesting.
You cannot. I cannot explain the experience. You have to just watch it.
The only time I've ever watched an Ed Wood movie was, I think it was, what was it? It was one with Bela Lugosi, and it was one where Mystery Science Theater 3000 was riffing on it.
Oh, it was Plan 9 from Outer Space.
No, they never did that one. I think it was Bride of the Monster or something.
Yes, Bride of the Monster, yes.
Well, guess what? Riff Tracks did, and it's from the people who did Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Oh, yeah, a lot of the
I know. Riff Tracks and Mystery Science Theater 3000 are the same people. I know.
Well, mostly the same people, but they did it as a live show.
Did you ever get a chance to watch them live? Like you just said, I think a couple of years ago I got a chance to see them do Starship Troopers, and that was an experience because you know that whole shower scene where everyone's like buck ass naked. They actually have like someone dressed up in a gorilla suit like jump out and the camera focuses on the gorilla and the gorilla just starts throwing things at the audience to distract them from the nudity. Yeah, seriously. So yeah, we didn't get to see any of that, and that was a very clever way of dealing with it. I thought that was hilarious.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you ever get a chance to see them live, definitely jump on that chance.
I've bought some of their recordings of their live riff tracks, such as I just got Space Mutiny.
Mhm.
which they had a different version of the gorilla suit guy. Apparently, that wasn't so popular, so they had to change it up.
Yeah, I think they pissed off a lot of people with the gorilla suit guy.
Yeah,
Like,
they
hey,
made-
look, it's a gorilla, and look, he's throwing roses at you, or whatever it was, and the camera kept panning over to him instead of the screen with all the nudity on it that everyone really wanted to see. And it's like, guys, you assholes, you assholes. It's like, did you guys ever watch Red Dwarf?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
do you remember that scene where Crichton is misgendered or whatever, and he identifies as a woman, and so he's led into the women's showers?
He's forced to identify as
Oh
a
yeah,
woman.
that's right, because he doesn't have a penis, right? So he goes into the woman's showers and he charges people to broadcast through his eyes. And he says, "Okay, if you don't pay up, I'm going to stare at the floor." So it's the same kind of thing. Hilarious.
It is.
Yeah, but they got Amazon Prime has a lot of the Rift Track shows,
Yeah, I love them. I can watch them all night.
especially Plan 9.
Yeah, do you guys have any movie that you can just put on anytime and you never get tired of it?
The Crow.
For me, it's The Road Warrior. I can watch that anytime in the background. I can, if I'm paying no attention to it, it's like a comfy, warm blanket.
Well, I'd have to say The Wrath of Khan, since a lot of what I'm writing for Mechanic Chronicles is based on it. So much.
Yeah, Wrath of Khan, not a travesty of Into Darkness, but the original one.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, I read about the original script for The Wrath of Khan, and it looks like they ripped it off for Into Darkness.
Oh, just a little bit, you think?
Well, the original script had Spock getting killed
Oh,
off at the very beginning.
I would say they practically plagiarized it.
Yep.
Oh my
And
god!
I saw Walter Koenig's reaction to the Khan scene.
Okay, apparently
Darkness.
the string does not like me at all. So it's like I am forced to rely on using Molly.
Well, yeah. I mean, this is her channel after all. And
Yeah, she's trying to place her dominance on you.
she's like, "Look, man, this is my bandwidth. This is my little corner of the interwebs. You're going to use my face, god damn it."
I didn't make her. You did.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's actually this isn't too widely known because I don't talk about it much, but a lot of the readers of Molly know that I did do a webcomic back in 2000 to 2005 called Life of Riley, and that's what this flag avatar is based off of. So
Really, it's not. It looks like it's ripped out of One Piece.
Well, yeah, it is. It's a One Piece thing, but this is my Life of Riley character if he had a One Piece flag. And I actually drew this icon back in like 2003 or something. It's ancient. But the fact that I still have it is a miracle. But yeah, so one of the characters was, based off of myself, and he had the blue hair. So Molly is actually technically the daughter of that character.
Interesting.
Yeah, but she doesn't actually know who her father is. She just has that one photo of him, which is actually the Dan character from Life of Riley. Interestingly enough, that comic is still hosted somewhere. A fellow by the name of Pyrocam has hosted the entire archives, and I looked back through it for the first time in years, and there's a vampire character in there that's a dead ringer for Maeve. I think they'll have to meet up at some point. He's got the pale skin and the pointy ears, and
well, I did plan on making a mini arc that was basically a riff on Twilight.
Well, there you go. Yeah, if you want, you can use that character.
I think I will.
He was actually probably the most popular character because at that time, vampires, like emo romantic vampires, were rather de rigueur at the time.
Thank you, Twilight.
Exactly. But anyway, yeah. So his backstory was he was Vice President Al Gore's illegitimate son. So his name was Gore Jr. And he became a vampire and just took the name Gore because it was appropriate.
Well, I did sort of plan on making it like a vamp, because like I thought to myself, like if we were looking at this realistically, this would be like the whole thing with the Cullens. It's like a vampire version of the Manson family.
Yeah, what is with that? They just hang out in that house all day? Like, what do they do?
Not only that, I mean, like, you're going to tell me they've been going to high school for, like, ever?
Yeah.
One giant orgy.
I mean, I didn't read the books, and I only saw the pieces of the film on riff tracks, like the whole ladies thing, which kills me every time I see it. But
line.
Yeah, riff tracks really did make that movie something special. I'll tell you what. But yeah, so I don't know if it's explained in the books, but what do those vampires do? And did they do like a Highlander thing where they pass down their belongings to themselves and forge a signature? I mean, didn't anyone notice that this guy's been around for that long and he hasn't aged? And
plus, they haven't left Forks, apparently.
Yeah, a small town where everyone knows each other. I mean, come on. I don't understand how this hasn't caused a problem, but she's a shitty writer, so who cares?
Yeah.
Also, how do you go to high school for about 100 years?
That's the thing. I mean, like in Highlander, at least they explained it like he passed his belongings down to himself.
Well, not like that. I mean, like like Connor kept changing addresses. He kept He never stayed in the same place.
Yeah. They actually had to do a lot of detective work to track down that he was the same guy. But I don't see any of that shit happening in Twilight. I mean, it's just like, yeah, we're here. We live in this house, and we always have, and we're hundreds of years old, and no one's noticed a damn thing.
They would have been better off if they just stayed in the house and never left it.
Yeah, I mean, why do they have to leave the house? Here's my problem with those vampires. They have no weaknesses. I mean, that's the thing that made vampires interesting, was that they were both very strong and very weak at the same time. They can't come into your house unless you allow them to. That's a great metaphor for, like, you have to voluntarily allow evil to control you. And sunlight, ashes them up. But these vampires, they don't have any weaknesses. So why don't they rule the world? I don't understand.
They do it better. They pull that shit off better in Vampire the Masquerade.
Yeah. I actually kind of like that. Did you ever play, what was it? Was it Bloodlines?
I have Bloodlines, and I've played it multiple times. I always play Gangrel.
Yeah, you know what? I always played the Toreador because it was easy to get that crazy chick to fall in love with you because you were attractive.
You mean the one that looks like sugar?
Jeanette.
Yeah.
We're talking about Jeanette. She's the Malkavian.
Yeah. The Malkavian was actually pretty fun to play because your dialogue had that weird, funky font.
Not only that, it was also written all idiosyncratically, like and shit. It was like it's how that is how Malkavians would talk if they. Well, to be honest, like if you play the tabletop version, a Malkavian's derangement could be anything. Like they're not like just making them full blown like crazies that just babble nonsense. Like that's just one thing. Like they could also just be completely comatose and just stand there dead as a doornail, or maybe they're full blown psychopaths.
They must have been the most fun to role play. I mean, I never had a chance.
They are interesting to role play. I will say that. I kind of like the Gangrel just because they're so in touch with the beast. Like they're the more primal, bestial kind of vampire.
Right. Now, wasn't there an expansion that allowed you to play like a couple hundred years in the past, so all the tribes were different?
All the clans.
The clan. Yeah, the clans. Sorry, it's been a while. But
Werewolf has tribes.
Yeah, you're right. I got them. I got my signals crossed. But in for example, in the modern day, the Brujah were like CBGB's punks. They had the Ramones look, the leather jacket, and they were anarchists. But if you go back into this other expansion, they were more like noblemen, I guess you could say.
Well, kind of in their heyday, the Brujah were like philosophers. They were kind of like they were there's sort of like there was sort of like a schism between what became what the Brujah became and something known as the true Brujah. They're not as hot tempered as the stereotypical Brujah. They're more cold and aloof, but they're also very logical and taciturn.
Right, and that struck me as a pretty interesting contrast because it's kind of like if you go back in time and like the Democratic Party was the party of like the KKK and how drastically it's changed over the years, like political values and all that. So it was interesting to see that. But anyway, the Toreador is the one I always played because it was very easy to persuade people, and that's how I like to play. I like to play around with the dialogue options.
Yeah, Nosferatu are fun if you like to sneak.
Oh yeah, with a Nosferatu, you can't really talk to anybody; they just scream and run away.
Yeah.
So that was interesting.
Yeah,
I was curious one time and played then. Wow, nobody liked them.
Yeah. Well, that's because your face looks like a cross between the Crypt Keeper and Keith Richards.
Yes, you look like a burn victim. You really do. And so that's the one problem Nosferatu have is that they must stick to the shadows.
Yeah. But the advantage is they hear things they shouldn't.
Oh yeah, there's always a trade-off. You always get a perk when you have such a huge disadvantage.
Yep.
Yep. So yeah, that was fun. So yeah, this all stemmed from the vampire thing. So yeah, I'll see if I can dig up a picture of this vampire from the archives.
I know Victor and Ginger will have fun with that. So I'm not. And you know what? I say it's going to be a riff on Twilight, but I'm not going to have Maeve and her friends like go to Forks. I'll just have the vampires come to Aberdeen. Like maybe they get like who knows? Maybe. Let's actually apply some realism to Twilight and say like maybe the people living there finally got wise and ran them out of town.
Yeah, or they have to relocate every generation or so, so people don't catch on.
Yeah, and not only that, like I said, like if we're being honest, if you had this whole vampire, like if you had this whole family of vampires, like it's just basically blood-sucking Mansons.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I mean, or are they vegetarians? They only eat animals? Is that it? I don't know.
Because I don't know. For some reason, if Edward had been real, I just imagine that he would have been like Charles Manson.
Yeah, I can see that. He's attractive. He's cold and aloof and a sociopath, and he's very good at manipulating people. And so yeah, I can absolutely see that. I mean, the whole vampire thing is like it's a metaphor for sociopathy. It's like they can't see themselves in the mirror because they have no sense of self. It's all about domination and manipulation, and the best way you can do that is to be attractive and to play upon people that way.
Well, attractive or charismatic.
Yeah, definitely charismatic. That's a huge thing. But yeah, it's basically a metaphor for sociopathy or psychopathy.
Yeah, I would probably say I think the difference is like I think that what I've heard the difference between sociopaths and psychopaths is that sociopaths are a bit more hot-tempered, whereas psychopaths are very good at using people.
Oh yeah, so psychopaths see people as objects to use, and sociopaths don't really feel any emotions, but they're good at faking it. Yeah. So, as far as I know, I mean, I'm not a psychologist, but that's my
me neither.
5-cent diagnosis.
Although we do know someone who we do know that what was that? Who's that? God's nerd. She would know.
Ah, well, maybe she can clarify that for us.
Yeah, God's nerd would know. Like she, I think she studies psychology.
Cool.
Yes,
it's definitely not my wheelhouse. I'm definitely more of a thing person than a people person. I definitely do not know my way around the human brain very well, except my own. Sometimes.
And yet you seem to be able to write people very convincingly.
Well, thank you very much. The reason, if I'm able to do that at all, it's because I spend a lot of time examining my own personal experiences and how they affect others and how other people's experiences have played into my own life. And If I'm able to get any kind of verisimilitude out of that, it's because I pay attention and I do my best to take note of and remember things. So appreciate that.
Uh-huh.
It also helps it definitely helps when you're able to observe people as well.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Oh yeah, I mean the first thing, like when I began shopping Adobe Kroger around a couple years ago when I was still trying to publish it traditionally, it was rejected by about 14 agents. And one of the things that they said was, this is not how a real woman talks. And I said, well, I beg to differ. I mean, a lot of her dialogue is lifted right out of my friends' conversations. So this is in fact how women talk, or this particular woman talks.
Yeah, I think basically everyone has their way of speaking.
Yeah, I mean, you got to take people one at a time. That's my mantra. I'm not a collectivist. I don't think that way. So you say, hey, women don't think this way. Women don't talk this way. I said, well, I happen to know one who does. So there you go. Yeah, deal with it. This is how this character thinks. And yeah. But interestingly enough, I mean, Adobe was initially heterosexual. And one of the things that agents were saying was, this is not how a heterosexual woman talks. And so my wife said, okay, just make her a lesbian then. Like, okay.
Actually, that makes sense because I had the feeling that there was a much more convincing relationship between Adobe and Simon than there was with Adobe and Rain.
Well, you see, Rain was actually initially a guy named David, and there was absolutely no chemistry there. I could not write that scene because I don't know, I just wasn't feeling it. But as soon as I swapped it over, it was much more. It flowed much more naturally. And in terms of her relationship with Simon, it's just this is someone she idolizes and hates at the same time, which is a very difficult situation to be in. It's like this guy. It's like when you look at a professional in the field that you're trying to get into, and this person's a dick to you, but you still admire their skill. It's kind of like what do you do? Like, I hate this guy, but I also really admire him. So that's a situation that she's in.
Yeah, that I cannot say. I can't say that Maeve is going to have that kind of dynamic with Regina. It's just more like she's just like it's more like she looks at her more like an older sister.
Yeah, there's definitely some bad blood between Adobe and Simon. He doesn't like her, and there's a reason for that, and we'll explore that in book 2 and book 3. But Maeve has definitely got a much healthier relationship, I would say, with Regina.
Well, yeah, well, for good reason. I mean, like, that'll show up in Revengers, and now that's just like, I think a lot of it comes with the fact that as much as her parents want to help her, I don't think they're equipped to do it. I don't think they're equipped for it. So it's just more like it's just good that she can run into adults that can actually sort of understand her a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely relate to that. Having been raised by boomers who were fairly self-absorbed, I mean, they really had no guidance for me other than like, okay, when you finish high school, go to college, then get a job, then I guess have a family. And that was it. That was the extent of their wisdom. So they couldn't really relate to what I wanted out of life or what I was expecting for myself. So I could definitely see that being a problem with Maeve, because her parents aren't, like you said, they're equipped to deal with a certain set of issues, and those aren't the issues that they end up being presented with.
Yeah, and not like that. I mean, like, it also comes with sort of like it's also called a little bit from my brother's experiences, because my brother was diagnosed with Asperger's when he was 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Luckily, now when my dad found out, he kind of made a decision that I think ended up doing him a lot of good, because it was sort of, I remember him watching this. I think it was the special. I think it was on NBC or something, It was these parents who had daughters that were conjoined twins, and they were being asked, "Well, how are they so well adjusted? So how do they don't seem to really have any difficulty, despite the fact that they're not exactly normal?" And their parents said, "Well, we don't treat them like they're different."
Right. They have a strong bond with their parents, and if a child has that, then they're equipped to deal with almost anything.
Yeah, that was
it's when you don't have a strong bond with your parents, like Maeve has with her, does not have with hers. And that's when you start getting into a lot of behavioral issues that are very difficult to correct. Like aggression's a huge thing. Addiction is very prevalent if you don't have a strong bond with your parents, because you're seeking that normalcy that other people have that you don't. And a lot of times, substance abuse allows you to actually feel normal for a little while. It's like if you start out like most normal people, when they're happy, they're at a 10, and a person that's an addict would be normally at a 5, and a hit of their drug of choice would let them go up to like an 8 or a 9 and almost feel normal. And then when they come down, they go down to like a 2. So yeah, it's horrible. And
not gonna have any of that, just because I'm of the opinion that stuff like substance abuse it's not appropriate for young adult fiction.
Oh, absolutely not. I wouldn't put that in Changeling.
Yeah.
That's definitely not something you need to address there. I mean, she's 14 years old and she was raised, in a good Christian household. Yeah, her parents don't necessarily know how to help her, but they definitely would have taught her right from wrong there.
Yeah, at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I had a back and forth with someone on Twitter about kind of about this. Like he told me we shouldn't, I don't think you should necessarily put restrictions on anything in fiction, because it was another case where I was quote tweeting an outrage tweet over that new Sabrina show, the one with the orgy scene.
Yeah, that was baffling. Like I thought this was a show for young adults or teenagers, and
yeah. I mean, for all I know, that they might be trying to go for a more adult audience with this one, in which I don't know. I'm trying to understand, why would if you're trying to aim for a young adult audience, why would you have sex this explicit in it?
Yeah, or for that matter, if you want to go for an older audience, why use like a young adult IP like Sabrina? I don't understand that. Yeah. Like Sabrina's for kids. I mean, Sabrina's for 12-year-old girls. I mean, it's there so they can fantasize. Hey, I can do anything. My parents can make me go to bed because I'm a witch. I can turn them into frogs, or I don't have to do my chores because I can just snap my fingers and clean up the room. That's what Sabrina is. Sabrina isn't about that. I don't know.
Yeah. Although if I remember correctly, didn't Sabrina sort of didn't Sabrina kind of age as the series went on?
You mean the TV show starring what's her name? Clarissa? Whatever her name was.
Melissa Joan Hart, but not just her. Yeah. I mean, not just the actress, just also the character was allowed to age. I think she got out of high school at some point.
That I don't know. I mean, I did read a lot of Archie. That was how I learned to read. Basically, it was with Peanuts and Archie comics. So I read a lot of Sabrina stuff, and a lot of stuff that sticks into my mind that developed her as a character was her learning to deal with situations without using her magic, because it was kind of that was how she matured, was by handling situations without having to resort to casting spells to resolve it. But as far as I understand it, though, I mean, from what I've read, she was always just a teenager along with everybody else.
Yeah. But, that's when I just pulled up the Wikipedia page for it, and it says it's supernatural horror, but it sounds like it says centered around Archie Comics character Sabrina Spellman, intended to be a companion series to the CW series Riverdale.
Mm-hmm. Which is a little bit more of a mature take on it.
Yeah. This is something I'm gonna have to ask. Why are they trying to be I'm not opposed to putting mature themes in fiction for young adults and even children. In fact, I think you should to an extent.
Yeah, I mean, sex, not orgies.
I mean, that's exactly what grim fairy tales were doing.
Yeah, children's tales were always pretty dark because they were there to teach children lessons. Don't cry wolf, or the wolf will fucking eat you. Or stuff like that. or even did you ever watch Return to Oz? back in the 80s. There was this sequel to Wizard of Oz.
I know it exists. I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's got some pretty dark stuff going on there, and like even in the Neverending Story, like Artax drowns in the swamp, and that's pretty dark. But the point is, like it's there so like when the happy ending occurs, it feels earned, and the child feels a sense of relief. Like, see, everything's fine, but you gotta go through the fire. And that's what a lot of children's stories were, like you were saying, especially the Grimm fairy tales. They usually did not have happy endings, and they usually were there to say, "Hey, kid, don't do this, or reality will devour you." But like Matt said, an orgy scene is something different. Like, what's that supposed to teach a child? Like, what's the lesson? I don't understand.
Yeah, it's just and you want to know what the guy's his argument for why we shouldn't make such a big deal out of it. He said it's because teenagers are having sex.
That doesn't mean that we have to watch it.
Yeah, just because
we have to watch it.
Sure, yeah. Teenagers are having sex. That doesn't mean you have to show it.
And they suck at it. Okay, it's not. You're not gonna go into a room and pile on a bunch of other naked bodies. I mean, I never had that opportunity, so why the hell should they? God damn it.
Yeah. And plus, I mean, like, yeah, and I don't know. It's just like there's something. Call me a prude or something, but I think there is something. It skirts way too close to being pedophilic, for my taste.
Yeah, I mean, even if the actors and actresses are of age, it's always a bit disconcerting when I see that depicted and they're supposed to be kids. That's like that scene in It. What the hell is that all about? That underage gangbang.
Yeah.
I mean, all the kids were the same age and they were kids, but how as a writer can you write that? I mean, I'm reading that scene. I'm like, what was going through his head that he was able to put this to paper? I was like, oh my God, this is so disturbing.
Yeah.
He probably asked George R. R. Martin for pointers.
Yeah.
Oh God.
God knows. Yeah. He's fuck. I mean, considering that oh man, you think the stuff he did with having Daenerys having sex when she was 14 is bad, dude. Meat House Man, I think, is his worst work ever. It's one of his short stories in his Thousand Worlds universe, and let's just say one of the big themes in this book: necrophilia.
Yay! What is it about fantasy and like perverse sexual practices? Like, when did it stop being about like dragons and princesses and spells and heroics?
I feel like Marion Zimmer Bradley had a hand in this.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not my cup of tea, to say the least.
Well, I found out last night that the Firebrand had a child getting raped in it.
Thank you, Sam, for telling Matt about that.
That's absolutely fantastic. I can't wait to read it. Sounds like a sheer delight.
It's just, oh my. I mean, it gets even worse when you look into what Marion Zimmer Bradley allegedly did to her daughters.
Well, apparently it's not so much allegedly anymore since they've pretty much admitted to it.
Yeah, they're a bunch of degenerates there. That's all I gotta say. A bunch of savages in this town.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Oh man, like I think I actually, when I broke that, I think I ended up breaking that story out to Serena Sketches in a thread once, and she said, and she was just like completely blown away, and she said, I have a copy of one of her books on my shelf. I'm getting rid of that.
Yeah, you see, it's one thing to say, hey, I don't like this guy's politics, so I'm not gonna consume his art. But then we have this, it's far more egregious. So, because I put up with a lot of stuff, like none of the artists that I actually enjoy correlate with my politics at all, and I've learned to deal with that. But there are some lines that just I cannot cross, and that's one of them.
Yeah. Just for perspective. Yeah, for perspective, like my illustrator Victor, he does do stuff that is NSFW, but you know what? I'm not paying him to do it, so
Yeah,
that's no skin off my back.
yeah. If that's how he can make a living, God bless him. You know, I'm not gonna get in the way of anyone's living. But yeah, as long as the stuff you do for me is on the up and up and apropos kosher and all that, and you deliver on time, I'm fine with it, dude. God bless you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, my family has just gotten back from dinner, so I'm going to need to assist there. So I'm going to need to duck out for now.
All
But,
right. Well, yeah. Hopefully, well, if you come back, you come back, Dan.
Yeah,
well,
pretty much.
thanks for having me on, guys. I'm glad I got the opportunity to do it, and let's do it some more in the future.
Yep.
That'll be great.
All right, man. Talk to you guys later.
All right. Bye.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
So, what do? But yeah, do you think it's onto something though about like how, like what the hell happened with fantasy? Because it used to be about like
About fighting again, rescuing the princess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. It's pretty crazy how everything's turned out in fantasy. Now it's all about being a dark. Now we got a lot of dark fantasy out there.
Which, for
Real
the
dark.
record, like that's having it isn't a bad thing.
No, it isn't. But
Yeah, I mean, one of my favorite mangas is Berserk. That is a dark fantasy.
yeah, it is an extremely dark fantasy.
Yeah, but Berserk is great.
Yep. Unfortunately, a lot of people seem to think that part of the grimdark, or at least the most essential part, is the rape. The sex.
You know what? When you pull up something like, say, Elric, I don't think there's a lot of that in it.
No.
Like what makes Elric there's no rape in Elric as far as I know, and don't know. I haven't really read any of the Elric novels, but pretty sure there isn't like a lot of sex in them either, because like Elric just has Elric really can't connect to other people, well, for obvious reasons. Like if you read the books, you get it.
Yeah, in a way, Elric was supposed to be a deconstruction of the Tolkien work, right?
Kind of. It's more like yes and no. He was more like what was his name? Michael Moorcock was more taking Conan and just doing the opposite of everything.
Yeah.
of everything Howard did.
Speaking of Lord of the Rings deconstruction, did you know that there was a Russian novel called The Last Ring Bearer?
Really?
And it was basically written as though Sauron was the good guy.
Huh.
And it was all about criticizing U.S. foreign policy. Basically, Mordor was the equivalent to Iraq.
Ha 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 ha! So clever.
You want to know what happened when they tried to bring it over to the United States? The Tolkien family stopped a lawsuit on that. Told the publisher I was bringing it over, you can't sell that. That rights of copyright.
Fucking hell.
Yep. But yeah, the guy who wrote it didn't even change the names or anything like that. He just decided to write his own book and sell it through a publisher.
Good thing. Yeah, good thing he got hit with a cease and desist letter.
Yep. Although, you know what's one of the things that I like doing on YouTube?
Hmm?
Watching the Rift Tracks trailers for the movies that they're doing.
Really?
That's how I found out about the insane laugh that one of the vampire elders did in Twilight. He just did this high pitched screech laugh, and then a second after it ended, Mike and the others start laughing and say, "No joke we can come up with can be funnier than that."
You got me there, yeah. You definitely have me there. Yeah, I cannot argue against that. So, trying to think of something. Dan just sent me that vampire. Huh, I can kind of see it. Matt, are you still there? Matt.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I couldn't hear you.
Computer problems, perhaps.
Yeah. Well, by the way, Dan just sent the link to that strip, and yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, I can see it too. I mean, wow.
With all due respect to my opponent, and I believe that the American people understand this, I alone am responsible for the vampire in Life of Riley episode 1.
Oh man.
Come on, does that sound close? Tell me, does that sound close?
Yeah. I mean, at least he didn't sound like Sean Connery that time.
What are you talking about? Like, Okay, when did I sound like Sean Connery earlier today?
Your imitation of Alan Moore. That's probably last night, though.
Oh, what, from last night? From last night? Hopefully it's less pretentious. Although I will say this, Warren Ellis, he's got this one video where he's kind of just riffing on Alan Moore, just saying like, do not ask him to tell you his plans because he will tell you in excruciating detail. And he just does this impression of Alan Moore that is so spot on.
Yeah, I know something funny I just realized.
What?
The movie that decided to make Sean Connery retire was The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yes.
And that was based on an Alan Moore comic.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
the fact that you're doing the Sean Connery's, you sound like Sean Connery while you're doing Alan Moore makes it rather funny.
Yeah. I can kind of see it though. I mean, I guess I can kind of see it there.
Yeah.
But, although, yeah, like I said, Warren, I gotta link it. Let me see if I can find that video because that is like I said, it's funny. It's actually pretty damn funny.
Oh, I just read this interview with J. Michael Straczynski earlier today, and it was about how he created a religion in Babylon 5, but he'll never release the full details of it because doesn't want to be made the figurehead of a cult.
Doesn't want to be. He doesn't want to turn into the next L. Ron Hubbard. Smart.
Nope. He said that he'll be the first apostate of his church.
Yeah, isn't J. Michael Straczynski like he's an atheist, isn't he?
Yep. But it's hard to tell when he writes Christians to be in a respectful way.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess he's an atheist, but he's not like an atheist who has like a hate boner for religion. Well, I say, well, most atheists will say it's for all religion, but really it always seems to be more directed towards Christianity.
Yeah, it's funny how that works, doesn't it?
Yeah. I don't know, it's just like,
I mean, everyone talks about how peaceful the Buddhists are, but don't ask them about the time that the Buddhists came to Japan and tried wiping away their native religion.
which they did not really succeed at, although there was this one sect of Buddhist warrior monks that Oda Nobunaga did not want to fuck with.
Yep. Although it was the Buddhists who turned Tengu into demons rather than helpful spirits.
Funny how that works.
Yep. So, all religions have their assholes.
Yeah, but like I said, atheists always seem to hate Christianity more than any other religion.
Oh yeah, and I always found it funny with one of my friends when she'd talk about how much she hates religion, but believed that in witchcraft.
Oh, please, like, dude, I actually had a conversation with a chick who identified as an atheistic Satanist, and somehow I did not completely lose my shit and laugh. Like this chick said, no joke. She said, all the Abrahamic religions are why the environment is so fucked.
No, that's
Pagans
called...
live with the land. Bullshit. They would have gone. Shit. Have you seen what the Romans did? They were pretty urbanized.
Yep.
Not only that, don't tell me that pagans wouldn't have gotten around to it too, given enough time.
It's really funny how stupid these people are.
Oh, not only that, this was the same chick who could not get it through, who could not seem to comprehend that IQ tests were not made for white people because they scored 3rd place on them.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Yeah, like she thought like the education system. I asked her, knowing she would get it wrong completely. I asked her, "Who do you think scores the highest in IQ test?" And she said, "White males." I told her, "No, it's Jews."
Well, according to them, Jews are white males. I mean, that was what Ben Shapiro was called earlier.
Yeah, okay. I could go into this a little into a little more detail, but I do not need this kind of baggage on Dan's channel. But yeah, let me just put it this way: Jews score highest, followed by Asians, and whites are 3rd place. We're held up as the average, as in like the median.
Jeez.
Yeah, we score. Yeah, you're like a few. If we go by an IQ test, you're probably a few points higher than me.
Yeah, well, at least you're higher than Andy Worski.
Although, to be fair, I think Andy Worski kind of dropped a few points with all his cocaine.
Yeah, I have a feeling that every time he goes on live, he's high.
Okay, is it how he's talking or something?
What?
Is it just in the way he talks or something?
Yeah, and how he overreacts sometimes. Such as when he, during a talk with Tara La Rosa about the upcoming fight with Tonka, she was trying to explain everything to him. He's just getting angry. He's on a short fuse, and he kicked her off because she would not let him interrupt her while she's explaining it.
Oh man, Cody. He tried pushing Sporkman and tagging Jimmy Fallon in it.
Oh boy.
God bless you, Cody. You're trying.
Yep. He's trying. Celebs probably won't fight because they're probably interns running it.
Nope. Oh man, he's got another tweet where he tagged Will Ferrell. And he's saying, "Hey, Will Ferrell, have we got the role of a lifetime for you?" Okay, Will Ferrell as Sporkman would kind of be cool.
Yeah. Although I kind of feel like Chris Pratt would be another actor for him.
Also true. He's got another where he tags Kevin Smith and Stan Lee. Another one where he tags Conan O'Brien, Jimmy Kimmel, The Rock, Ellen DeGeneres.
Oh, Cody.
Yeah, like I said, he's trying. He is trying his damnedest to get Sporkman over the edge.
Unfortunately, it seems like it's only gonna be a miracle.
Yeah, which is, I mean, like I'm bummed out because like I want it, not just because I donated to it. I legit do want Chet to succeed with this.
Yeah, I do too. That's why I've been retweeting it every time I saw it.
Oh man, oh he's got another one where he tagged in Justin Bieber and Justin Timberlake.
That friend that I pushed the changeling on? I even told her that Sporkman would be a great superhero for her son.
Huh. Oh my. He also tagged Hank Azaria. Yeah. But yeah, Sporkman Sporkman is a book that deserves so much better than it's getting.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there are people who are against it because it's just really dumb how comics politics is. There shouldn't really even be comics politics.
No, there should not. By the way, I'm going to have to disagree. You can say I'm going to have to disagree with you on Maisie being cuter than Maeve. For those of you who don't, you guys can't see this, but in a special group chat on Twitter for Wikid Publishing, Matt just showed everyone that E.B. Maisie done by Danku the artist. Really great guy. Says she's cuter than Maeve. Yeah. Okay. She is. For now.
For now, but the character herself isn't supposed to be cute.
No.
But it works.
It does. It really does. But yeah, I kind of have a feeling that.
Yes.
I was gonna say, yeah, like I was gonna say that I have a feeling that just I didn't go in intending to make Maeve make Maeve cute. This was just something that kind of happened when I handed her off to other artists, because all they had to really go off of were a couple rough sketches I had where she was drawn a bit more realistically. So, and I guess that was just how they interpreted her in their style, and so now
now it's gone to she's cute.
Yeah, which I don't exactly have a problem with. Like, it seems it's won people over.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah. But here's something that seems that genuinely interests me, because like in the official banner I have on my Twitter, she seems to have her skin looks like it's really, really white. Whereas I always see other people draw her with more gray skin.
It's weird, isn't it?
Well, it's supposed to be deathly pale. That much I know.
Oh, yeah. Even
Wait.
the What?
I think I know why, because there's a I think I know why now. Because there's a character sketch that's of her that I had Victor, I had not Victor, that I had ginger color. This one her skin looks a little bit more on the gray side.
Huh.
Whereas the banner has the colors like kind of exaggerated and really saturated.
Wow.
Well, I told Ginger to kind of go that direction because I wanted to sort of have artwork that was sort of atmospheric, or colors that were atmospheric. Actually, while we're at it, like how much how
much
like how much do you think atmosphere is going to play into, like, say, McKinnon Chronicles or those are Mythics?
What kind of atmosphere talking about?
Well, I'm not. Oh, I don't know. I guess I would figure you would probably know if there's like a kind of, because like like in my case, like with Changeling, I sort of want I kind of want this atmosphere where it feels like there's there's magic just sort of brooding beneath the surface. That's why I had Ginger sort of make the colors so exaggerated.
In a way, that's gotta be more of Mythics. It's basically, I think what's going to end up happening is that we're all going to have.
Except with Dan, because Adobe's in black and white.
Yeah. Although, I see it's going to be in our books sooner or later, so.
Yeah, but yeah. Well, I guess with Mythics, that would sort of go without saying, I suppose. But like, are you kind of aiming for like any kind of atmosphere out in like, say, McKinnon Chronicles?
In a way, more of a. I guess the best way of describing it is to look at the Wrath of Khan with the whole Space Navy atmosphere I put out.
Mm-hmm.
The sense of seriousness and such.
Mm-hmm. So like where the atmosphere is like a bit more tense and oppressive.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess that would make sense.
Yeah. And the ship's been damaged because they assumed that the pirate ships weren't going to fire on them because of the agreements made in the solar system government.
Mm-hmm.
But Regina's squad finds out more than they bite off. I bite off.
So it's now like I'm trying to think of some. I have something for this. Because I'm trying to about the only thing that's coming to. I'm trying to. I feel like I have something.
I hate it when that happens.
Yeah, I do. About the only thing that's coming to mind is with either Firefly or with The Expanse. Probably more The Expanse, knowing you. Because like I think I remember in The Expanse, the backdrop behind it was that there was sort of this. There was this conflict between Earth and Mars and the colonial planets.
Yeah.
Like the colonial planets were sort of seen as being, they were kind of, or at least they sort of saw themselves as being put upon and exploited by Earth and Mars, who were much wealthier.
Pretty much. In The Expanse, the whole there was no war beforehand, space combat was pretty rare up until the point of where the story begins.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, it's basically more more of the expanse, mainly because the main ship is a warship,
Mm-hmm.
and while there is artificial gravity in Mechanic Chronicles, the smaller ships don't have the power output to both be at combat power,
Mm-hmm.
and to keep the gravity on. So they gotta strap themselves in.
Oh, so they don't have artificial gravity in any of their ships?
Well, a ship like a Corvette doesn't have uh, the power output to sustain both artificial gravity and the weapons / defensive systems. So it's basically more strain I put on the reactor. So when they go into combat mode, they have to turn off the artificial gravity since it takes up a lot more power than it should.
Mm-hmm.
Larger warships have considerably larger reactors. They can handle the power drain that artificial gravity has with a much more effective manner. So the larger ships, they can have artificial gravity without any problems, while ships like a Corvette, they're going to have more of a problem due to the power output.
Oh, I see. There are ships that would have like artificial gravity, but they just don't. But like the trade-off is they're really, it's like only the big ships, right?
Yep. And that's the thing I'm doing with the ships of Mechanic Chronicles. They've got weaknesses. They've got things they can't do because the reactors won't allow them to.
Well, that just makes sense.
Mm-hmm. They're not powered by magic. Let's just say that.
Yeah. I don't like. I know you said you're probably not going to be digging too much into like the astrophysics of it, but you probably should. Have you done any like digging into like the engineering side of it?
Yeah. Oh man, let me tell you something about space engineering. Everything we thought we knew about how to build a spaceship through science fiction is wrong.
Well, yeah, even I knew that.
If you want to have a realistic ship that can stop on a dime, you might as well have 2 giant rockets on each end of the ship. Otherwise, you're going to have to do a flip and burn, which is basically you flip the ship around and then you hit you make the rocket fire at full blast.
So in other words, like what we use with the space shuttles, that doesn't really work.
Well, in a way, I think they do the flip and burn. The reason why the space shuttles are designed as they are is because they're meant to re-enter the atmosphere based on what we understood. Because back then we couldn't just land a rocket like we used to, like we do now. So they're going to have something with more of a design placed on an aerodynamic design.
Okay.
But now, since we can land rockets, that's not going to be much of a problem anymore.
So in other words, we don't really need to use the. We don't. So in other words, we don't really need to use.
The space shuttle design?
No.
No, but it'll probably be easier for pilots to understand and to learn and understand. So I think the vast majority of space tourist ships will have the space shuttle design.
Mm-hmm.
But you're going to have these bigger ones for interplanetary travel. Namely because it's going to take a long time to reach your destination, and 0G does a hell of a lot of damage to your body during that time.
One idea I thought that was kind of like that was really good at Gorgeous for getting around this problem. I saw this used in Alien, and also this one anime movie called Lily Cat.
I remember that.
Yeah, they would put the ship would basically go on autopilot while the passengers would go into cryo sleep.
Yep. The problem is that we have no idea how to do cryo sleep just yet without killing someone, and we have yet to understand what effects it would have on our organic body to put on cryo sleep and have it be in a weightless environment.
Yeah, because what's the safe point where you can freeze a human body to be preserved, but without damaging it at all.
Yeah, it's just it's an interesting thing when you think about it. Especially when it comes to the fact that we're trying to wrap our minds around it, and yet we have no idea how it works.
No kidding.
The Expanse has some of the most realistic space mechanics, such as the way they do gravity on a spaceship is that the ship is continuously moving. So the ship is built. Basically, you know how you have G-forces acting upon you while you're in a car, and then you feel that push you back because you're accelerating. Basically, that's what they do in the Expanse to generate gravity.
Really?
The ship is when there's gravity on the ship, it means that the ship is still accelerating.
Wow.
The only problem that I can think about is is the whole getting to stop, because you're going to have to stop sometime as well, and acceleration will also take up fuel.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll take up a massive amount of fuel, unless the rockets are the most fuel efficient rockets that you can think of.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, so there's a lot of ways that you can do artificial gravity. And then there's the method that you see in 2001: Space Odyssey, where the area of the ship where the people are that's spinning all the time.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I didn't in Firefly, I don't think they even bothered trying to explain it.
No, it's just magic. Gravity on ship is magic.
More or less, yeah.
Yeah, and they also did rotation for Babylon 5, where the space station, everything that you saw that had gravity was in the area of the station where it was rotating. And then when they had to design Earth ships for the later seasons, they they basically used the design of from 2010.
Cool.
Yep. Which surprisingly enough, the ship in 2010, despite being a science ship, looks pretty militarized.
Really?
Yeah, it was a pretty ugly piece of machinery that looked like it could take on anything. Oh, as you know, now so that we can stop making people's brains hurt. Did you hear that Warren Ellis has a comic that's being turned into a TV show?
Really?
Yep, it's published by Image Comics and it's called Injection.
Now what's this? Now what's the premise behind this one?
Basically, it's a weird science fiction story.
Okay.
The overall story is that five geniuses decide that they want to try to make the 21st century a more interesting world. And they succeeded, but they also broke the world.
I feel like Warren Ellis is doing this to take the piss out of social justice warriors. I mean, the dude might be. The dude might be a bit of a lefty, but I don't think he feels anything in common with these people.
You want to know what the funny thing is after reading it?
Yeah.
The main character of the first volume, you could probably call the angry lesbian feminist because she talks about she's got all this anger towards men that sometimes pops up. And then you've got the black characters and here's the interesting thing. You know who the most interesting character in the entire book is?
Oh.
The white guy who is a wizard. Yeah. Basically, you had for two of the black characters, it's basically black James Bond and black Sherlock Holmes, and a black female Doctor Who. And they made the white wizard the most interesting character.
Was that done on purpose?
I have a feeling that was.
Okay. Okay, now for the next thing. Dude, on Twitter. Okay, I'm gonna show you this thing I just did on Twitter. Because now I wanna wonder what my next move should be. Like you know know any of the people behind Cyanide and Happiness?
I know of them.
Okay, look at the. Okay, so
Oh boy.
well look who responded to me.
I'm not seeing any responses.
Click on.
Oh, okay.
Scroll down.
Oh wow, he replied.
Should I give him an Irish Pepe just to because at this point I'm just trolling him.
Oh, go ahead.
Fucking yes. And I'll give him an Irish Pepe with a Celtic cross.
I mean, it is your birthday after all. Oh, that's gonna be really funny.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I'm pretty sure. Dave McAlf, fuck, whatever the fuck his name. He's the part of the team that's from Northern Ireland.
Oh boy.
Dave McAlfred. I don't know how the fuck you're supposed to pronounce that. I was like, can you tell I can't? Yeah, I might be an Irishman, but I was born and raised in the States.
Yeah.
I was almost tempted to give him an IRA Pepe, but that seemed a bit too on the nose.
Well, if you want to know something, I told Dan Koo that when McKinnon Chronicles and Mythics happen, I'm going to have him do some chibi art on the back.
Oh, that's so cute. I'm gonna have to ask him to do some too.
We'll call it Wicked Chippies.
Oh man, do you want to know what's kind of? If we made like a whole community out of that, do you know what we'd probably have to call it?
What?
Wikid City.
Oh boy.
Although I'm not sure we could get away with that.
The Wicked Isles, perhaps?
I don't know. I just like the idea of calling it Wicked City because, well, you can probably see why.
Yeah, the anime.
You know, it's kind of that anime kind of amazes me.
That got made.
But besides that, it's like this is about as close as you can get to being a hentai without actually being one.
Oh yeah. I think that's part of the things that one thing I'm going to be doing with Mythics.
Really, you're gonna go there.
Well, maybe for some storylines, but it's not going to be a full thing. It's going the idea of having the spirit realm be filled with naked elves is based on all of the artwork that was done during that time, where the familiars, when they were in their humanoid form, they were always naked. For some reason.
Okay, are we talking? I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. Like, are we talking like the old version of Rags Naked or Rags now?
Huh. Let's see. I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna show I have any of the old rags pages, such as the pretty explicit stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing that I don't get it. I'm trying to understand what was going through Brian's head when he did that.
There probably wasn't anything going on in his head at the time.
He probably wrote that draft out drunk.
More than likely. Unless he decides to amaze us and say, "Oh no, I was sober."
Yeah, so I don't know. Can we? I don't know. Do you think it's okay for us to be able to? No, if we're gonna talk about that version of Rex, he has to be in the call.
True. Yeah, that's true. By the way, if he asks, you brought it up since you talked about old Rex.
Well, look, that's only because he has all the details. Well,
yeah.
So he's much better. So he's the person to tell the story.
Oh, definitely. It's not fair to speculate on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in terms of nudity, it's probably gonna be more like the current regs. There's not gonna be any sex, really.
Yeah, that's kind of. Yeah, that's kind of good. I mean, it's not that I'm against. It's not that I'm against having sex in fiction at all. It's just that I don't think it needs to be in all fiction.
Yeah, you don't need to see it. Honestly, I guess in a way, you don't have to see every sex scene. Just the ones that make sense, such as there's type of sex scene that's unneeded, where, oh hey, they're having sex for the 15th time. Who cares?
Say what Game of Thrones does.
Yeah, while the first time it's more of closing an attraction and make it more permanent, so to speak. If that makes any sense at all.
I guess it's just like when it's just we kind of use Game of Thrones as a punching bag a lot on our shows, don't we?
It's not like it doesn't deserve it.
Point taken, but point taken.
I mean, it's also very popular. It's a very popular show.
Still is, amazingly.
Yeah, well, people like Jon Snow and Daenerys, and
even though that relationship is creepy as fuck.
Yeah, aunt nephew relationship. But to George R. Martin's credit, it doesn't look like it's heading that route.
Well, now it looks like looks like Daver's spotted again, and I can't tell if he's taking the piss or if he's trying to troll me back because he linked back to me with a video by the Dubliners called Fields of Atherny.
Oh, he's taking the piss, obviously.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He probably seems to be rolling with it. So yeah, you know what? Considering that he makes cyanide and happiness, I think the guy has a sense of humor. He's not a humorless cunt like so many of any other content creators.
Like the blue check marks.
Yeah. Okay. You know what, Dave? You earned a like for that. You're being a good sport about it.
Yeah, but you know who doesn't have a blue check mark and is incredibly bitter and doesn't take a joke?
Please tell me.
Mundane Matt.
Oh man, have you seen Ethan Ralph's video where he's just chronicling Matt's sad search for the blue check mark?
Yep.
Oh man, it is so sad. He kept saying, "Hey," he tries tagging Twitter support, gets the wrong account, and he thinks LeBron James is following him, so that gets him a blue check mark. He asks Count Dankula how he got a blue check mark.
Yeah, you're important. You have to be important. Actually, you know something funny?
What?
I think random people are getting blue check marks. So,
well, Ethan Ralph has a blue check mark.
But there are random SJWs who have blue check marks, which is really funny to me. And quite sad for Mundane Matt.
That is sad. I mean, like, that is very, very sad.
I do think it's great how Sean Murphy says that he's proudly unverified.
Yeah, that's just like... Yeah, that is... Yeah, Sean Murphy is like one of the few good creators out there.
Oh, yeah. He's also got a sense of humor, too. If there's anything I have to say about him is that he's got a great talent.
Yeah, definitely.
He can both write and draw.
that is amazing. Like he's that rare artist who actually can write too.
He could be this generation's Frank Miller.
That is, oh yeah. You know what? When you think about it, I mean, like Batman White Knight seems like it's going to go down as one of the all-time great Batman stories.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I can see that.
Yep, and it'll be interesting to see where he goes with Curse of the White Knight.
Although that being said, I mean, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure where like Sean Murphy lines up with Frank Miller politically, just because like Frank Miller's like he's very right wing.
I think Sean is on the left. I remember reading an interview where he says that politically he's a left. He's on the left.
And well, at least he's not a lefty that
Raging lunatic.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
It's just, I guess, in a way, the ones who aren't raging lunatics, you could call liberals. Mm-hmm. While the crazy lunatics are generally leftists.
Yeah, I could see that. Oh man, fucking hell. Dude, you remember that guy who got pissed off that Garfield's Instagram posted, "Do I look like I care?"
Yeah.
And it was all about the election.
Yep.
You can't find his account anymore.
Oh my, really? Seriously?
I think, or he deleted the tweet.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Actually, yeah, I still have the tweet up. Let me see. I'm gonna post it in because it was actually a pretty good burn if I can find it. If I remember correctly, deleting a tweet doesn't delete the thread.
No, it doesn't.
So my tweet should still be there. And it is.
Well, he's still on Twitter.
I'm gonna RT my tweet just because, like I said, this is a good fucking burn.
And looking at this guy's account, he's just ugh.
I'm kind of impressed he didn't block me for it.
Well, he's a moron, so.
Fuck it. How the fuck is this guy, and why does he have a blue check mark?
Like I said, random people get blue check marks before Mundane Matt.
Let's see. Author Matt D. Wilson, author of Supreme Villainy, the memoir of supervillain King Oblivion, PhD, War Rocket, Ajax co-host, movie fighter, Copernicus Jones writer. I don't recognize anything this guy has made.
Yeah, he's just a random guy who made indie comics.
I don't get the feeling that he's like one of the Comics Gate is a hate group. He's part of that crowd, ain't he?
What gave you that first clue?
Well, okay, let me put it this way. In spite of what Matt and I will say about Comics Gate, it's definitely not a hate group.
No, there's two. What? Okay, so the tweet is still up, it looks like. Oh, no, wait, it's just my phone showing that it's still there.
Yep. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Because he's deleted that tweet, but yeah, you and I are both of us the same mind on that. No matter what we say about Comicsgate, it's not a hate group.
Yeah, honestly, War Campaign might be a bunch of drama horsebergs, but I don't think they're entirely racist. I think they just feed off the drama, off of making people angry.
Fuck it. I'm gonna hold up my gun and say they're the right stuff for Comicsgate, just because this is the way they talk, the way they act. This is this kind of shit the right stuff would do. Like, the right stuff is all about purity spiraling and purity testing for the alt-right, and
Yep.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like, you know that little Echoes meme, the one with the 3 parentheses to identify that somebody's Jewish.
Yeah.
They made that.
I'm not surprised, honestly. Based on what you said about them, I am not surprised.
Yeah, honestly, like, yeah, they really got to be sticking that label onto the War Campaign if they really want them to go away. Because I definitely guarantee, like, these guys might be fucking psychopaths, but I doubt they want to be associated with the right stuff.
If there's anything, they're the Crown T Daxon server.
I guess. Well, Tank is up.
Yep, he's up.
Let's see if we can get him in.
If he wants to come in.
Well, I'm gonna see if I can get him in. Let's just see. All right, let's find out. I hope he's feeling better now.
Same here. Whoever you replied to has him blocked.
What is he talking about? He's gonna have to come in.
I guess the cyanide happiness guy blocked him.
Really?
I guess so. Or he's talking about
Matt Wilson
guy. Yeah.
Is he talking? Okay, Okay, he's got to come in so he can explain that. And also, apparently, what he linked us was Wonder Woman wearing a really bad sweater and covered in band-aids.
Oh boy.
Apparently, I think this guy might be a comic artist. I'm not really sure what to make of this. It's just a really. I don't know if I can say this is good or bad. It just looks really. It's just a really weird look for Wonder Woman.
It looks like an SJW drawing.
Oh yeah, definitely. It has that kind of Tumblr style to it.
And he apparently drew Hellblazer, so I'm going to avoid that once.
Yikes. Yeah. Speaking of which, the Hellblazer you did get, that's the Garth Ennis run, right?
Yep. Second volume, because they didn't have the first one.
They didn't have Dangerous Habits.
Nope.
I like the Dangerous Habits, but although is it the one where he started working with Steve Dillon?
I think so.
Yeah, because this was because I think Garth Ennis has actually been. There's an interview where he talks about working on Hellblazer, and Garth Ennis talks about like how when he started working with Steve Dillon, he just found that the two of them just really, really, really clicked.
Yeah. Tomorrow I'm gonna pick up another volume, which is one that's drawn by Sean Murphy.
Yeah, that's right. He did. I think I remember he did draw a volume of Hellblazer.
Yeah, and it's only $5, so I'm gonna pick it up.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Mm-hmm. It'll probably be worth $500 by the time he's done with the White Knight series.
That'll be awesome.
Yep.
My friend Sam just sent me something over Facebook. It's a tweet from X Hamster's Twitter.
Oh boy.
Early this morning, after launching #YesFap, #NutNovember to combat stigma against porn, we were hit with violent #NoFap threats exhorting followers to quote unquote kill pornographers. This solidifies our fears about the @NoNutNovember movement. And they're tweeting an image that says porn increases depression and anxiety when addicts turn to pornography to alleviate depression and anxiety. They only make things worse. Pornographers must die. Support capital punishment for pornographers. I guarantee they're getting trolled.
They are definitely getting trolled. Nobody would go that far.
Not unless it was a CP pornographer.
Oh no, CP pornographer took it to rope. Anyone who forces a child to do that, death penalty.
Good morning.
Hey,
Morning,
Tank, how you
Tank.
doing, buddy? So, Tank, who did you say I had you blocked?
Somebody replied to. You posted something that last one status. You replied to somebody, and then I tried to look at what the tweet was for.
What? Okay. What exact? Can you be specific to what I was talking about?
Garfield only has two priorities: eating and sleeping. You played yourself.
That guy. No, I don't think he has you blocked.
He has me blocked.
Weird, because what I found out was that the tweet I responded to, the tweet I found out that I was responding to, he had deleted it.
Oh, it's just another blue check mark that has me blocked. Nothing serious, really.
I don't know how can you survive without their approval.
How indeed.
Yeah.
Did you guys take a look at the cringe that I posted in the
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's like it's a terrible look for Wonder Woman, and you can tell that it's another one of those Tumblr styles.
Funnily enough, if it wasn't one of the main characters of DC, I don't think there would have been the hatred towards it.
Really,
No.
because people actually hate that.
Yeah, I showed it to some other people, and well, one of them is the artist that he actually likes, and he says he digs it, except the fact that he doesn't like it because it's Wonder Woman.
Doesn't sit with her personality.
If it was another character, he wouldn't have an issue. No, it doesn't.
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh well, doesn't really matter at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It was bound to happen sooner or later. Well, will you look at that?
What?
What happened?
She finally tweeted out about Sporkman.
Who did?
Nerd Wonder. Finally.
Yep. Well, good on her.
Yeah.
But last couple of days, interest.
Hey guys, quick
Well,
question:
you know what?
What happened with the elections there? I'm still looking for
apparently the blue wave did not happen.
Oh no, you lie! They were making such a fuss about it.
I'm gonna look it up, but I think the reason why it didn't happen was because they're talking about with all the talk about taking away the idea of innocent proven guilty.
Gee, well, I wonder why that would be a bad idea.
Who knows?
No, if I had an evil star mustache, I'd be twinning that right now. But I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, the socialist in New York is going to get elected. That's for certain.
Well, I mean, show me any city on the coast where the socialists will not win.
Yeah, that's kind of a given.
Yep.
I mean, I just find it funny. The people that make their money via capitalism are advocating for a system that'll effectively see them robbed down the line.
Well, that's because when things go to shit, they're the ones who can run.
Yep.
Yeah, but to which country? Because at the rate things are going,
Good point.
if they win, if they had their way and it took over worldwide, where would they run to? It's not like we have off-world colonies.
Well, it looks like. Yeah. Well, it looks like.
And the countries that are keeping themselves afloat won't take them.
Oh yeah. So at this current point, it looks like Republicans keep the House, keep the Senate, while it's neck and neck on the House.
It's probably going to come down to the flyover states again.
Yeah, most likely.
Gee, the guys who benefited the most from the tax cuts.
Yeah, it does not. Yeah, it does not seem like there's not going to be a blue wave at all. It's not happening.
More like a blue puddle.
Oh no! I was so hoping for it.
Oh, hello? What's this?
Blue checkmark screaming out in fear.
No, interesting Kickstarter project. 10,000 gold, already raised over 146,000. 9 days to go.
And what's it for?
Hellwitch.
Hellwitch.
Yep.
Is it spelled with one L?
Nope. 2 L's.
Hellwitch seems kind of like a redundant name.
Well, no, the only reason I found it is because Colette Turner tweeted out some line art for a cover. Damn, that woman is flipped and talented.
Yep.
Colette Turner, yeah. Yeah, she is. I mean, like, I kind of want to. I kind of want to hire her, but I'm not sure I can afford her.
Brett,
Yes.
life goals.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, I can't hire her now. Well, I can't afford her now.
Exactly. Think positive.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
fine.
So
I want to hire Colette Turner, but I can't afford her now.
yeah, exactly. Oh boy, what else is going on here? Yeah, this one's definitely not for kids.
Oh,
Yeah, well, it's just the tagline for it is that it's all about being naughty.
well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're still talking about Hell Witch. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, the name like Hell Witch, that kind of doesn't leave a lot of room to be family friendly, so to speak.
Yeah, I remember when Rocco's Modern Life had a ride at a fair called the Ride to Hell.
Wow, I do not remember that at all.
Oh yeah, and they made a joke about it later on when one of the characters dies and goes to hell, and he's not allowed to say it. The show's version of the devil says you're not allowed to say that. It's decreed by the one power that's much more evil than I am.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Hey, guys, guess what? We survived another so-called apocalypse. I mean, it's Wednesday now on my side of the world. We're still here.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Yeah. I mean, the way people were going on.
I don't know. It might be an apocalypse for the people who are hoping for a blue wave.
Oh, it definitely is. I actually think I saw someone tweet out that if you're not watching the Young Turks right now, you're missing on some really good salt.
I'm not surprised because one of my favorite things to do after election was watching a video where it shows the Young Turks just descending into anger and salt and tears.
I could probably foresee Anna Kasparian probably going on again about how she's so much fucking better than anybody else.
You're all racists. We're all terrible people.
Fuck you! Fuck you!
Buzzword, angry, nasty people.
Of course! Come on!
Honestly, the greatest thing I've ever seen from the Young Turks was when Alex Jones invaded their set.
You didn't know that was a Steven Crowder video.
Oh, I saw.
No, when he actually did that.
When he actually did that.
Yeah, I'm thinking of something completely different.
That would have been the best anime crossover ever. Tonight on Top 10 Anime Crossovers.
To be fair, that series of crossover videos that Crowder did with a lot of with people like Gavin McInnes, Sargon of Akkad, Lawrence Southern, and Alex Jones, where he was being in Anna and Shank. Those were actually pretty funny.
Yep.
I actually want to take a look at what our local media is talking about because they also suffer from TDS.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh no! First one up: plot to assassinate Emmanuel Macron foiled.
Well then.
Malusi Gigaba, that's our former Minister of Home Affairs, dodges critical issues. Well, gee, why would he be straight up about it? Girl 15 killed in satanic ritual in Ukraine.
So is that what passes for That's just for news out in South Africa.
Sinead O'Connor calls white people disgusting.
Sinead O'Connor. Oh fuck.
Well, she's
I
my
heard.
husband now.
Fucking hell.
Then there's an article about illegal mining happening in Johannesburg.
Interesting.
Yeah, basically, there's a lot of abandoned and unused gold mines, shafts that still have gold in them, but not enough for the mining companies to carry on with. So you have guys that go down into the mines and try to mine the ore to sell on the black markets, and end up dying.
Oh boy.
Okay, so here's one from Associated Press. Dems pick up 2 House seats as voters test Trump's strength. That was probably in New York.
Yeah. Yeah. It's still. I would probably wait until
I got all the results.
Yeah.
Tom Oyane, he's the former guy in charge of SARS, which is basically our equivalent of your IRS, the South African Revenue Services. He wants his job back, but he was fired due to being an incompetent ass. Johannesburg emergency services are on high alert due to storm warnings. Lady sentenced to 3 years in jail for racist outburst due to hate speech laws, due back in court next year. Something about the Royals. MSN on Facebook. Twins separated at birth find each other when they're grown up. And apparently an article on how llamas will be able to save us from the flu.
Okay then.
And here we go. Finally, something to do with mainstream media and being scared about right-wing politics. E-News South Africa asking whether or not South Africa will get its own Bolsonaro.
Huh.
Interesting.
So yeah,
Not something. Well, I mean, like I never would have thought Brazil would probably right the ship. So maybe.
Anything's possible. I mean, come on, dude. We now had 24 years of slow descent into socialist hell. We've had years of people being won over at vote time with nothing more than a packet of KFC and a T-shirt and some promises. I shit you not. That is literally how they won people over to vote.
Jeez.
You mean you've got anger in the 4-year run up to the elections. Everybody's angry. And then when comes time to vote, they just go on the election trail, hand them out a T-shirt, some nice promises, and some KFC, and they vote for the incumbent party once more.
Well, speaking of elections,
but it's reached the point where it's not really going to.
They're probably not going to be able to pull it off anymore.
yeah.
Nope.
Well, speaking of the elections, the Senate has been called for Republicans. Blue Wave failed, guys. Blue Wave failed.
Yeah. We can. Yay! And there was much rejoicing.
It's very close, but if the Democrats win, it'll probably be by 1.
Yeah, I just saw that Keemstar just tweeted, Senate, Republicans win.
Blue Wave, guys. Blue Wave.
Was never.
It's more like a blue trickle.
Was not meant to be.
Well, at this point in time, I think it might be more yellow.
Yeah, pretty much. There is no Democrat. There's no Republican. There's just Jeb.
Mike Whitaker.
Not the yellow I was referring to.
Hey, Mike Whitaker's in the chat. He's waving hi.
Hey, Mike.
Good morning.
Yeah.
I got some hot gossip here that I'm not going to share though because I can't. It's from a private DM group.
Ooh.
I'll share it later when we're not on live.
Obviously.
No, I'm not going to do that. Otherwise, it wouldn't be private.
Really? Okay, so
So yeah, that's news from this side of the world. The main article still being the one I tweeted again, sent you guys last night about the fight in our parliament.
yeah, I remember that.
Yep.
Oh, here's one. There's a warning out in Cape Town due to some out on the streets now that is laced with crystal meth.
Jeez.
Oh, and I thought it
And
was
they just legalized weed for personal use at home a couple of weeks ago. The only reason our government did that is because they probably finally figured out a way on how to make money off of it. Nothing in this country gets legalized anymore without them having somewhere to make money off of it.
seriously legalizing crystal meth. I thought it was bad enough we had fentanyl going everywhere. I mean, to be fair, fentanyl's not legal out here. Oh, I think you can get. Actually, that's kind of not true. I think you can buy fentanyl over the counter, can't you?
Maybe
Not as far as I'm aware.
I have no idea.
You might be able to, but yeah, there's some. This Breaking Bad was an overrated show anyway. I liked Breaking Bad. I don't know, but yeah, Washington's got issues when it comes to when it comes to opiates. Mainly just because the local government hasn't really done anything about it. They've just kind of ignored it.
Well, that's basically what it is. Basically, what the governments are. It's you there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I just thought thought you still had something else.
Okay, well, somehow the Democrats have pulled ahead in this house, but wow, by only 2.
That's not exactly a very powerful stance. But then again, considering the platforms they were running on, are wonderful things like all the good that's have been happening, better jobs, stronger markets, actually pulling out of a lot of hotspots, peace in a certain other country with a tin-pot dictator. Yeah, I'd say that's not exact. And wanting to remove said people mainly as possible.
Yeah. I'm just surprised they're
not
doing as well as they
platform.
are.
Yeah, it's what happens when everything is put on the shoulders of a federal government power. It's probably referring to the DEA.
Yeah.
Let me put it this way, though. So as funny as all this shit is, I mean, everybody's going on and on about everything in terms of Orange Man bad. But have they actually ever really stopped to consider what the alternative is going to look like? My answer to that is
Of course
no.
not.
They haven't. They haven't looked at any country where this has happened, where a full-blown socialist government takes over and you tax yourself into the ground.
Yeah.
Of course they haven't, man.
Generally, when socialists comes into power, it's because they're preying upon the economic stupidity of the people who will vote for them.
Just like, well, it's also like socialism is one of those things that sounds nice in theory.
See, I actually had a fight with old Josh the animator about that the other day. He says
Really?
It doesn't sound nice on paper. My rebuttal was yes, because you're educated enough to know what it would look like when it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But to the people with an untrained eye who don't know anything about socialism, when you look at it on paper, it sounds very nice. You don't have to work a lot. Everything is provided. You will have money. You will have food. You will have everything.
Yeah, when you
But the one side of that where it falls apart upon just a very cursory inspection is,
Well, to
gonna
quote,
do the work
to
with
quote Stefan Molyneux, the problem. Let me see if I can get the cans right. The problem with socialism is eventually you run out of other people's money.
yes, eventually you do.
yeah, oh yeah.
But
Eventually you do, which is what happened here. They've officially run out of other people's money. And the other reason our government's also piss scared of your president is a certain thing called foreign aid.
oh, let me guess. Trump put some pressure on him when he and Carlson started talking about the farm murders, and there might have been a call to your president about that. Probably went something to the effect of this: "Hey, South African president man, you better do something about those farm murders, or I'm gonna pull the federal aid to your country. Capiche?"
Well, it was more like along the lines of a very simple, just normal Trump style tweeting out about it. These farm murders need to be looked at, and he's assigning his Secretary of State to investigate, or something along those lines. He just literally said that one of the higher ups in the U.S. government is going to start. Oh, hello. Apparently, Dems won the House.
By a razor thin margin.
Really? Because
But
right
this
now,
is I don't know. I mean,
On-
why are people
on
jumping the
CNN
gun?
right now on CNN, it's basically 137 Republican, 136 Democrat.
I don't know, like it's just
It hasn't been called yet.
I don't know. As far as I know, we still have the Senate, so
How's it looking in places like Texas and Arizona specifically? Because I know Arizona was up for a very contested seat this year.
I think apparently it doesn't look like Beto's gonna win.
Well, his name is too close to a certain other thing we call these people.
Yeah.
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
I was and then there's that's the name Cinema, whatever the hell you pronounce your surname. I probably butchered that and I don't care. In Arizona against former pilots, I believe.
No, not just that. We've also got not just that. We've also
funny.
not only that. We've also got we got that guy Dan Crenshaw running for a House seat in Texas. He's a Navy SEAL that had his eye blown out by an IED, and he had it replaced with with a glass eye that has a naval eagle emblazoned on it.
The guy literally looks like Big Boss from Metal Gear.
Yeah, I know.
Story. I saw that.
Yeah.
You don't get more badass than that.
Yup. Yeah. Yeah, he'll probably win. Just when he can do a lot, just using
Purely
this
because
as
the
a war
gamers will be
hero.
all over that.
Well, I don't see anything about the House going Democrat yet. So
No, it's just a random tweet that popped on my timeline.
okay.
Oh
Yeah.
fuck! Apparently, guess who guess who got into the house?
Who?
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Oh yeah.
But it's New York. What did you expect?
Yeah. Are you
Honestly,
expecting?
what did you expect?
Are you expecting us to be shocked? Because New York.
I guess no. It's just
I am not.
Yeah, but God,
so
he's so annoying.
The NRA just tweeted out that Ted Cruz won re-election in Texas.
good for him.
So we won't have any beta jokes.
The salt's already flying about the re-election there. Just saw a tweet from Ian Miles Chong.
Yep.
Oh man,
Hey, they're literally shaking again.
literally shaking.
Oh my god. They're it's like execute literally shaking.exe.
Well, the AA1 in Michigan, the crazy SCW1.
Fuck. Yeah,
It's 2016 all over again.
Washington was not up for election, so I couldn't do anything. Yeah, we were not in the midterms.
Nope.
So right now I'm still stuck with the Granny Libs, Maria Cantwell and Patty Murray.
Huh.
Matt,
Yes.
Ebel Miki on Twitter just pretty much summed up what your election options probably would have been like as well.
Yep. I
She
saw
just
that.
summed it up for what would be for West Virginia.
Yeah, basically that's it. Basically that's it.
Okay, now for some good stuff.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
I just RT'd it.
Let's see what pops up. Oh, that. Dropped another retweet on that because it's fun.
Yes. Yeah, I've unlocked another achievement. I've got fan art with speed painting.
That is cool.
It is.
I love watching speed painting.
And done in watercolor.
No, quiet. And hand painted at that. That's even better.
Hand painted with a speed paint done a hand painted speed paint video.
Dude, that is beautiful. Makes my Wednesday morning better.
I'll bet.
That's probably one of the main reasons I was still sticking around on Twitter. All the amazing art.
Yeah.
Yep. It's like, why would you even go on
Oh.
DeviantArt now?
Well, because I follow an account that has a link to DeviantArt accounts every day. So
Yeah. Well, not only that, it's just like it became too much of a hassle avoiding all the gross art on DeviantArt, man.
yeah, see, that's a problem with DeviantArt, and by the same extent, a certain other website that starts with a T.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh my goodness, that is amazing, Matt.
I know, right? Dan
What are you
Koo.
what are you doing? What are you doing? Hey, what Lost Leonor did? That's high class. This is high class art, man.
There's no
Dude,
denying
it's all
that.
good.
Yeah.
Hey, every artist is good. Everything's great. I mean, hand painted. That's also done by hand. Different styles. It all rocks.
Honestly,
I know.
Brett, I wasn't trying to make it
I
like
know.
that. I just
I'm
realized.
giving you shit, man.
Wait till you guys see what I got cooked up.
Yeah.
My artist that'll be doing all my concept work and everything for me from here is currently cooking up something nice as a thank you to Tim Lim.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be good.
Yeah. I bet it will. Because like Killbox has not disappointed so far.
No, in fact, he's getting better and better.
You know, I saw his old DeviantArt stuff when he was still in university.
Mm-hmm.
He's very much specialized in the mechanical side of things. So, you know, motorcycles,
Oh, yeah.
mechs, Warhammer 40,000 stuff. But the way he's been focusing on faces now, it's just insane how good he's gotten.
He wants to. He wants to
Hold up.
be able to do his own stuff. I think one of the best parts about indie comics now is that it's just.
You were saying, Matt?
No, well, basically, it's that indie comics today is just inspiring more people to do their own stuff.
Oh, that goes without saying.
That was my phone.
Oh, okay. Well, as I was saying, it's incredible how indie comics today is just inspiring more people to get out their own stuff.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, I've gone on. I'm not afraid to admit it. I don't think that Changeling would be happening without had Rags not become a thing. Okay.
I probably would
I'll
not have started
cop-
writing.
Yeah, I'll
Sorry.
cop to it, man. I mean, like Brian and Trent, they pretty much gave me the kick in the ass I needed to actually see this through.
I wouldn't have started writing my story if Jawbreakers didn't happen.
Yeah.
I will literally say that, because if it wasn't for that, if it wasn't for seeing other people going out there, putting their stories and stuff out the door, I probably would not have done it either.
I'm gonna say if Brian didn't retweet that concept image of Maisie, I probably would have gone with something else, and I wouldn't have these 6 incredible pages that are about to be colored.
Fuck, I wouldn't be getting the cover, much less another page done at this point if he hadn't believed in me. Yeah. Yeah, I feel so fucking. But yeah, just seeing that I've got
dogs again.
But yeah, seeing that I've got actual. It's kind of amazing to see that I've got actual fan art for a book that's not even out yet.
That's how I felt when
the concept is solid.
True.
Yep, I've gotten fan art, which I really was not expecting. Evan did his own and Killbacks, so
That's awesome.
yeah,
That's awesome. I mean, like I got a whole channel in Changeling's official Discord that is nothing but art I've collected. And not counting the stuff that was done by Victor and Ginger. Let's see. Okay, yeah, we got the stuff by Lost Leonor, Hawk Art, Joseph White, Eric, Skogie Art, 2 of them, Danku, blah, 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 Josh, Miki, those 3 by Romance Ants 131. I guess you could probably kind of count the stuff Ginger did. And Jarakin.
Okay,
that's like over a dozen pieces there.
So how much of it was done without the whip?
Okay, without paying.
Yeah.
Let's see. Did not pay. Did not pay. Well, you paid for that, so does that count?
Probably not. But yeah,
that one was won in a contest. Did not pay. Did not pay. That was suggested, so I guess that one's in a gray. Okay, Josh, I did pay for. No. Okay, okay. Has to be paid, not suggested.
Honestly, I was joking.
Because like I said, if you take out the ones that I actually paid money for, that just takes out one, which is Josh's pony.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you have a character that people really want to see.
Yeah, yeah. Apparently, people tell me that Maeve is a fun character to draw.
Yeah, well, she's something different in a good way. Which is a good thing because it's a concept that's not been used at all.
Oh, so yeah, man, that Rags influence goes very deep because the whole point of Rags was Brian wanted to do something nobody else was doing.
Yeah, and you all know what his response will be.
Negromancy.
Exactly. You said it, not me.
Hey,
Well,
if anything,
Brian said that he wants to make it something that's okay for everyone to say.
yeah, he's trying to normalize it.
Yeah, well, that's not really exactly completely off the mark.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just words at the end of the day. Yes, some words should probably not be normalized at all, but because they are nasty. But others, I mean, come on. If you're just going to talk about the Spanish, Portuguese, or Latino word for black, yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, but if we're talking about the Spanish Portuguese word for black attached to a Latin word for magic,
Honestly,
Oh well.
I can only imagine an American SJW's first time in Spain and hearing the word black for the first time.
I'm still, yeah.
You know, I
I'm still
bet
looking for
Canales can
the
tell us
perfect
stories
attachment.
about that.
Oh, I've spoken to him numerous times about that, and because we constantly compare notes between our two countries about which one's fucked more. I'm still looking for the perfect post to attach this to. Because quite honestly, I found this meme and it's like perfect. Just looking for the perfect place to stick it to.
Okay, so where's the meme? I gotta. Did you put it in the Slack or something? Oh,
Always.
I need to that. I need to have that. Because that
Like
is
I
one
said,
of
I'm
my
just
favorite
looking for one.
animes of all time. I must have it.
I don't even know what anime it's from.
Serial Experiments Lane.
I have to watch that.
It's good, but it's super weird.
It is very weird.
So, how is it any different from watching, say, Inception? Which is also weird if you
Let me
don't keep
put it
track
this
of it.
way. Let me put it this way. Inception was 2 hours.
Now, this is a series.
This is 13 episodes long.
And yeah,
It's got a long. Let me put it this way. It's got about close to something 6.5 hours to really mess with you, and it goes very slow and deliberate.
well, anything like that is slow burn like that should be properly done, because if you're going to detail somebody losing their mind somehow, or a true mind fuck, you can't just one and done it in a rush in a
Yeah,
film.
if you want to know, I'll just tell you how the first episode starts. One of Lane's classmates. It starts with one of Lane's classmates committing suicide, and then they find out that and everyone in her class finds out that the last thing she sent out was some kind of email. She goes online to learn more, and she's actually talking to her classmate from beyond the grave, and she finds out that She killed herself so she could transcend into cyberspace.
I'm not laughing at that. That actually sounds fucking cool. I'm laughing at all the memes coming out now. And they got one for the latest one I'm checking out now for
Beto O'Rourke.
Nacho Senator.
Oh my god. I think that was
It would have been deleted. I'm gonna have to screenshot that then. I wanted to retweet it. I'll keep it in the archives.
Yes, please.
Ron DeSantis, Governor Scott. So Andrew Gillum is not going to be the governor of Florida.
Oh no.
That's probably good for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, my word. Oh boy.
Currently, it looks like 139 in the House for Republicans and Democrats.
So so was I right? The Democrats are taking the House, but by a really thin margin.
No, they aren't. It looks
Really?
like I said, Republicans have 139, Democrats have 130.
Whoa.
And it's from the Associated Press.
Okay, men, I think it's time we broke out in song. And I have the perfect one.
I can't sing.
You're gonna sing.
I can't sing.
You're going
Yeah,
to.
got the voice.
I pay my dues time after
So time. To chase everybody
time.
away.
I've done my sentence, but committed no crime. And bad mistakes, I've made my few. I've had my share of sand kicked in my face, but I've come through. On and on and on. And we are the champions, my friends.
You're not Freddie Mercury, so stop.
And we'll keep on fighting to the end.
I think it's his birthday. Well,
We are the champions. We are the champions. No time for losers, 'cause we are the champions of the world.
So is it really funny how this is a repeat of the 2016 election?
It's gonna be. It's gonna be.
You know what? I need to tweet this out. You know, this has actually been a. You know what? I was actually prepared for this to be just another birthday from myself, but you know what? It's actually been pretty good.
Yeah,
I got more fan art. I picked up more fan art. I went to Baskin Robbins, and the Republicans control this whole Congress. And I have my own copy of Rags at long last. Pretty good fucking birthday.
yeah, I can imagine. But you know something? It's gonna be a pretty bad birthday for someone else on the very same day who thinks differently than you. It's gonna be. There's probably gonna be someone on Twitter going, "This is the worst birthday ever."
I feel bad for him. Got more changeling fan art. Have my own copy of Rags issue 1. Best for last, of course. And it's the Tim Lim variant cover, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
Very nice.
Yeah, I am keeping that thing in its package right now until I find a frame for it because it deserves it. I want that thing preserved.
No, it's just another tweet that's too funny. But I don't want to give this woman more fucking airtime than she already gets. Oh, it's just too good.
Yeah. Yep. You know what? Yeah, my 28th birthday was actually pretty good.
Man, all the salt that's trending on Twitter.
I know, it's beautiful.
It's the best.
I mean, come
it's the
on.
best birthday present I could have.
Yeah, it
Beyonce-
was more like a bear trap, really, which is why I made that one.
Beyonce gives her support to Beto. He loses votes. Just imagine that.
That actually kind of makes sense. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna have to leave again because it's 6 a.m. I have to go get ready for work.
Oh,
that's probably good. That's
I'm well
probably
enough to
good.
actually go.
Yeah. And you know what? We've been going on for 2 hours. This is a good spot to leave off, Matt. And
yeah, it could.
because I want to finally get that Changeling video done on today.
Yeah, and we got Wikid. Something to do with Wikid on Saturday. So
Yes, we do.
Enjoy that. Cheers, guys.
All right,
yep,
see you, man.
see ya.
All right, bye, everybody.
Later, everyone.